I'm going to go through some of these injuries, Goo, and what Shanahan said. This is what's going on with George Kittle.
I kind of listen to George the same way you guys do. George isn't a big put a date on it, and I'm not going to be that dude either. But I think you guys can tell how he's talking, how he looks, that I agree. I think it's sooner than later.
All right. So I think Kittle's got a shot to play week 1. Who else is hurt? Mikael Williams.
Yeah, I mean, he's further along. I mean, he's further away than those other guys you guys just asked about, but we do think he's close. I mean, I do think week 1 would be a long shot, but we haven't ruled it out yet. But he's progressing very well.
All right, so it sounds to me like McCaffrey, Kittle, and Bosa could play week 1. That's what I'd be optimistic that they could play week 1.
Yeah.
What did you hear?
McCaffrey for sure, so I'm not worried. Stoddy, I don't think we're going to see Kittle week 1. And what if I told you we're not going to see Bosa week 1? That's just how I'm seeing it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't that wouldn't alarm me.
Like, remember how I talked about you while you left, Evan and I was like, Stoddy was saying 17 games, you got time. But that does fit the narrative when you're talking about injuries,
For sure. I mean, if they're not ready, it's pretty simple. You don't play them, especially because you got to go travel 15 hours. And if they're not quite ready for week 1, they get 10 days off before week 2. And you know the old saying, rather be safe than sorry. But I do like, I feel like none of those injuries are going to linger into week 3 or 4.
Except maybe Mikael.
Yeah. Absolutely. Unless one of those 3 guys, I'm talking about McCaffrey, Kittle, or Bosa, have a setback. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app and now broadcasting from the Laughing Monk Studios. Leroy. Leroy's in the house, and Leroy's in Oakland. What's up, Leroy? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Steiny. What's up, Guru? How you guys doing, man?
Hey. God, it's football season, baby.
It is football season. I am so excited, but I'm most excited about coming out to the summit. I had a great time last year, me and my wife, so we'll be back out there, man. Hey, I just want to say, Steiny, you mentioned, hey, 49er fans, when you look at Purdy, when you see Purdy, what do you see? Do you see him as cool? Do you see him as this? When I look at Brock Purdy, when I see him as everything Mr. Irrelevant is not. Mr. Irrelevant is incapable. But I look at Brock Purdy and I see him as capable. I see him as important to the matter that we're talking about. And that's the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. So he walks around like he knows that he is important and that he knows that he is capable. And that's all I got. I just wanted to answer that question. No, I see a guy who, not necessarily a chip, but someone who knows he's capable, someone who knows he's important, and I just hope it translates into a good season because, honest with you guys, I got us at 10 wins. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm right around there right now, Leroy, for sure.
You think that gets you in the playoffs?
That's always a year-to-year thing, depending on what other teams have done. Who was the did 10 wins make it in the NFC last year?
I'm about to tell you now. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Hold on.
But what we're talking about is Jim Harbaugh yesterday was asked about Brock Purdy, and if someone were to ask me about Brock Purdy, what I thought of him, I might tell you what I thought of him. But Harbaugh really likes him, and we were talking to the boss today, and he was like, you hear what Harbaugh said about Purdy? Here it is.
Yeah, just how good he is. His timing, his decision-making, his accuracy. I just like how cool he is, how cool he plays, and all that, Same kind of the same way I think of Kyle, it's cool. I love the stuff he puts on tape. I love his demeanor, love the toughness of his teams, love that they're really good at football. And, great to be around it.
Yeah, so, heard that, and then the boss was talking about it. He's like, you think if you asked 49er fans to describe Purdy in a word or two that they would use cool? And I was like, that's a good question. was like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd probably use, I think he's good. I think he's solid. I think he's reliable. I think he's tough. And so he was just saying, what are some of the one-word descriptions you would have for Brock Purdy? And the bottom line is like, most of my words are positive. You know what I mean? I think he's gutsy. I think he's a little underrated. I think he's savvy. I wouldn't say he's elite. I wouldn't say here's the one thing I would put in there now, Goo. I think he's a leader. I think we've seen him become a leader over the last 3 or 4 years. Like, he's no longer looking at himself as a 7th-round pick. I got to fit in. I got to do everything the coach says. I got to spread the ball around. I think now he's looking at it as, this is my team. Yeah, even though you would never get him to say, this is my team. Like, he's not the kind of guy who would even use that terminology, I don't believe. He would just say, yeah, I'm the quarterback of our team. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that's who he is.
Now, I feel like, shout out Shasky, because I feel like I'm butchering the assignment, but I feel like it's Steph Curry or Steve Nash, mild-mannered guys off the court or off the field, and then when they step on the field, they just they go into Lou Ferrigno, Incredible Hulk. And I feel like that's what Brock Purdy's persona, when we see him just mild-mannered with the, Sears Roebuck outfit, just coming in, just being a regular guy, he turns into something else on the field. And that's why I thought, again, I'm hearing Harbaugh say he plays cool. I see that like lightweight swagger sometimes that I love from Purdy that blows me away. I'm like, this dude ain't, he's different than the guy walking into the locker room. But you described this whole person, and I feel like I'm just describing the guy on the field. He's got that arrogance and cockiness at times. Yeah, even to make throws, Yeah,
no, I'm just, like,
is he cool?
I mean, he's not a speed merchant, but he's not slow. I mean, I just, kind of all the key. He doesn't have his arm is, would you call him accurate? Harbaugh called him accurate.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty accurate.
Yeah, he came out the chutes accurate. I mean, yeah, that can definitely improve. Let me ask you this, Steiny, just real quick. I'm having fun. Radio Steiny compared to Steiny off the air. A big difference?
No.
And that's how I feel about myself if somebody were to ask. But Brock, I feel like, is, just real unassuming, but he turns into a monster on the gridiron.
Yeah. Just kind of throwing that around. 888-957-9570. Just, in vintage Harbaugh way, he's interesting to listen to talk. And, he's so cool. Brock Purdy's cool. It's like, well, he's kind of corny, actually. He's kind of a flannel shirt dude.
Yeah, that part.
He's pretty,
right.
He's pretty, I don't say nerdy, but he's pretty straight-laced, right?
Yeah, but on the field, he's different to me.
Right.
Yeah.
888-957-9570 is the number. Talking about the San Francisco 49ers. They had a dual practice yesterday, and they have a game tomorrow against the Chargers. Here was Kyle Shanahan talking about who may play, who might not play.
Yeah, not all of them, but I expect a number of starters to play, unlike last week. So I haven't told them yet, but they'll find out soon. But, yeah, you guys will see a number out there.
Including Brock?
Haven't told him yet, but there's a good chance.
All right, so it looks like Brock Purdy may play.
I can't wait to watch.
Tomorrow. We'll see for how long.
Yeah. How long would you go?
Probably series.
Yeah. I'd give him 2. Well, dependent, right? You can go 3 and out, and then you're sitting, or you go 3 and out. We'll give you 1 more.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they do that. If he plays, they have a 10-play drive. Is that enough?
No, that's more than enough to me.
This is more Brock Purdy. This is Brock Purdy talking about the defensive line intensity from the Chargers yesterday.
Yeah, man, I think, Coach Kerserek does a good job with just like their intensity, man. Like every play, they're going to shoot their gaps and you're going to feel them. And especially on the edges too, like I really got to step up in the pocket, against our guys. And they do a good job getting around the edge, and also on the keepers and stuff, they're there in our face. Like you can just feel them every play. And it feels like they do a good job with rotating guys, and the next guy that comes in, they're going to bring it too. So I feel like that's obviously a huge part of a team, down in the trenches, man. If you have a good defensive line, you can go really far, and I believe we have that. So obviously we get Bosa back too. That's going to be good, and Michael Williams, so it's going to get even better.
All right, so he was talking about his own defensive line that he goes up against in practice, and he likes what he sees about what he's going up against, even without Bosa and Michael Williams out there.
Yeah, you asked Donnie last year. Green Bay was the worst playoff team, and they had 9 wins and got in.
Okay,
yeah.
So
that was last year.
Yeah. This year, and somebody won the division with 8 wins, didn't they? No, that team won.
Carolina.
What was their record?
8-9.
So 8-9 got a team in, and 9-8
but
got
that
a
ain't
team
happening in the West. But yeah,
well, it's not happening in the West, but somebody's going to gobble up a playoff seed.
Wow.
With those kind of numbers. But kind of interesting.
Hey, this is what I wanted to run by you. Tell me if you think we've been together almost 10 years, man. I just share stuff with you that comes to mind. At what point do you get worried about Kittle and Bosa of the injuries that they endure and the rehab to where they're not what they were when they come back? Like, I'm more worried about Kittle as if Bosa's a whole different story because he had history with that knee. But how many more, injuries can Kittle sustain to where 85 is not 85? Like, that's a big concern. And when you go out there, the game doesn't stop because guys are injured or coming back from injury. It's a violent sport, and he plays hard. But I'm worried about Kittle, Stoney. Like, how many more can he endure before it robs him of his true powers, I
mean, he's getting up there anyway.
Well,
it's just like, in a way we talk about Steph Curry and like, I'm worried about the runner's knee. It's like, that's not the only thing to be worried about. You also got to be worried about him turning 39 years old. As for Kittle and Bosa, I can just tell you my opinion, which isn't necessarily right.
Yeah.
I'm a little more worried about Bosa because, I think Kittle, for the most part, if he's healthy, can do the things the Niners need him to do, which is block.
Right.
And then when he gets back to 100%, then he gets back into the pass game. But Bosa's a guy that they need to, like, if Kittle just returns and is pretty good, I think that's
Take
fine.
That. Yeah.
But
Bosa's different, man.
Bosa's got to come back and be, better than he's been since that year that he had a while ago.